All right, let me take you through the atomic system, starting with the warm up through some of the most basic exercises and workouts that we like to do in order to sequentially charge up and inform the body. So we start with the ankles, 10 each way. There's a lot of practitioners that like to use CARS, C-A-R-S, controlled articular rotations. I think of these more as passive articular rotations, taking the joint through a circle and letting the relaxation inform the activity within the joint. Knees, two knees become one. Just rolling the joints. Hips. Again, rolling the ball and socket of that femur inside the pelvis, that ball and socket joint, femur to pelvis, rolling about 10 times each way. And just to add another layer in there, we want to try to control and monitor our breathing as much as possible. So throughout all of this, I'm always trying to return to diaphragmatic parasympathetic breathing. Exercise is getting us excited. It's causing us to breathe more rapidly, maybe even more shallowly. So breathing into the belly and then continuing to fill up the lungs, and then taking a sip on top fills the lungs fully with air, and then letting that all out. That may not be able to be maintained the entire time, but as we're going through this, I'm always thinking deep breathing, deep breath into the belly, and trying to keep it through the nose. Now we're going into the first of our 4 white crane movements, arm swings, working the shoulders and shoulder blades movement across the rib cage, driving blood flow into the fingertips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, everything loose and relaxed. Next, we've got 2 versions of this. I'll show you this is the classic white crane with the whip. You can also make it a double punch if you want to try the double punch version. The double hands whipping is a little bit more technically challenging for some people, as the arms are completely loose and then whipping into a locked out position. Either way, I'm emphasizing, whether I'm doing the whipping or I'm doing the punching, I'm emphasizing a full pull to a full press, a seated row, if you will, to a chest press. Next, Daniel San and Mr. Miyagi out on the pier. And if you are squeezing these forearms, you're going to help alleviate any tendonitis you have in those elbows. And if you want to do it with the punch, it becomes as if you're landing a muscle snatch. Boom, 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 muscle snatch. And then we go straight up. False grip on the rings, arms out wide, right up overhead. If you want to make it the punch, we now have an overhead press position. Your shoulders should be nice and warm. Now, good. We drop right down into interlacing the fingers. Big side stretch. Big breath. Try to pinch the ears with the biceps. I'm going to keep it down just so I don't close off the mic, but lift the chest, arch thoracic spine more than lumbar. Then add the lumbar. Feet apart, hanging down, grab the elbows, shin scrapes. Tuck the chin, roll up, one vertebrae at a time, big inhale. Down between the knees, push the knees out. Deep breath to the belly. Get the double wrist stretch. Wrist stretch number 1, wrist stretch number 2. Go into your Cossack squat. From there, 10 arm circles. Each way. Two at the same time. Not only great for the shoulders, torquing through the waist. It's amazing how you can feel your legs really rooting to the ground. Last one in this group, swing leg kick. Trying to get a rhythm. Good. Too much there to even explain for the purposes of this video, but you saw it. And actually, if you're going to throw one more bonus one in there, I would do this one. Great. We now go into the atomic big 3. And for us, we're going to use, now we could spend time with some wrist stretches. I'm not going to necessarily go into those right now, but you could see that there, you do some wrist stretches if the hands aren't ready to receive the weight. And we're going to do bird dog. The key is to really extend through toe to fingertip, and you should feel that glute fire. Quality over quantity. Add 5%, add 5% more, and you'll find it. From there, we do a side plank. This is the lower equipment version. The pad can be anything or nothing. I like it. It elevates your body a little bit, gives you a little bit more of a reach to get to the ground with the turning elbow. Straight line, fingertip through shoulder to elbow. 10 of those on each side. One, 3, like you're gonna shake someone's hand behind you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we went bird dog, side plank. We now do a hollow hold. So hollow hold. First bring the knees to the chest. Tuck the chin, flatten out the cervical spine, and knees to the chest will flatten out the lumbar spine. So our spine is basically as flat and as long as possible. From here, we're gonna kick one leg out. Squeeze the quad, squeeze the glute. Stomach will be on, isometrically contracting to keep the lower back from curling up. So that's how we're getting the core activation. We then can curl up and we can switch the legs. Once we've got this phase locked down, and this can be a great place for beginners to start, we then can add the other leg and go arms up overhead. I like 3 to 5 deep breaths. Then bring everything back and start it again. One side, the other side, both plus arms. You gotta curl up though. You gotta keep the lower back flat, pressed into the ground. Great. That's the atomic big 3. We're now gonna go into the core 4. Some of these have evolved over the years. They're not what they used to be. The first one is the atomic push-up. So we'll start on all fours, on the ground, hands under the shoulders, roll up, heels down. These are like 10 to 20 reps. Just gonna do about 5 or so here, just so you've seen it again. Rolling up, shoulders away from the ears, hips up, stomach on, heels down. Now, if you don't have an ab mat, then you can do bicycles or any other of your favorite abdominal crunch up, curl up variations. But the butterfly sit up goes appropriately here. If we have this piece of equipment, we'll roll over it. Again, minimal equipment, but this is what's required to do these 4 exercises, these core 4 appropriately. So curling up, arch back, curl up. You're allowed to use your hands if you like, but really, if you do this correctly, you'll curl, open your stomach up, you'll arch back, and you'll curl up, pushing into the mat, bringing your rib cage closer to your pelvis, opening up your stomach, curling forward. And if you do them slow and controlled like this, where you really open and you give yourself a chance to draw in and really pull your stomach apart, stretch your stomach muscles out, move your ribs away from your pelvis, make this space wider. When you come up, regardless of what you do with your hands, you're going to get a lot more work in the abdominal wall. Okay, 20, 25 of those. Next, we bang out air squats. Boom. $17, $18, $19, $20. It was important for me to do 20 there because I do want to use this demo to parlay into further exercise. So I want to be prepped. Everything I've done enough to at least get the muscle activation out of it. The last one in the core 4 that started off with atomic push-ups, butterfly sit-ups, air squats is now a single leg Romanian deadlift or a single leg toe touch. Or I'm going to try to keep the leg straight. Get the breathing under control. Pivot only at the hip. Touch the toe. If I can't get to the toe, I can get there several ways. One would be to collapse. That's not good. Keep this leg straight and connected with your hamstring, glute, and low back working together. So the more we can pivot off of one leg, the better. If I can't get down there, I could bend my knee, keeping everything else straight. That to me is acceptable. We'll do the other side, 10 on each side. 1, 2. Don't rush it. It's okay to save yourself if you fall. 3, 4, 5. Oops. Not so easy. 6, 7, 8, 9, and one really, really good one. 10. Great. So that was the core 4. So we've done the circular articulating warm-up at the beginning. We've done the passive circles, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, etc. We then moved on to the atomic big 3, which are the bird dog, the side plank scoop, and then the hollow hold variations where you work up to the full hollow hold. Next, the core 4, we did the atomic push-ups, the butterfly sit-ups, air squats, single leg, toe touch. Now we're going to do the terrible triumvirate, or the killer triple, which are, let's see here, how do I want to show you this? We're going to do a kneeling chop with a kettlebell. I'm keeping the belt. This is work. This is that functional style of training where I'm picking something off the ground. I'm not trying to do anything strange with it, like throw it away from my body. I'm trying to pick it up and place it on the shelf. Across the body. Great. From there, I want to do the Turkish get up. Again, a challenging movement that requires a lot for us to get the positions correct. I won't bore you by doing too many of those. They take a little bit to go through, but I will give you each one on each side. So same hand, same knee. So arm that's up, knee is bent. Roll to the elbow, up to the hand. Look through
the kettlebell at the ceiling, hip bridge up, stabilize on your, post up on your hand that's on the ground, drive it up overhead, step up out of the lunge. Same thing in reverse, reverse lunge, find the ground with your hand, create that windmill line, hand to hand, kick through, hip down, elbow down, shoulder down, other shoulder down. Bring that down. Very good. Right. So the last one in this group is any deadlift variation. I've got a heavier kettlebell here. I'll do some deadlifts. Just basically hip hinging, standing back up. Hip hinging, bending the knees, squeezing the glutes at the top. So this is like a squat, knee bending deadlift, sumo squatting deadlift. But as opposed to, we could also make it more of a Romanian deadlift if we really wanted to dig into that posterior chain more. Again, making sure here at the top we squeeze the butt. Finish the move. So that's the atomic terrible triple, if you will. And so we've got the big three, the core four, the terrible triple. And now I would say you're just going to bang out a workout at this point, which I would say for the purposes of what we have here should be a kettlebell swing and an overhead press. And so that's what's going to happen next. Bang out some kettlebell swings. 2, 3. 25. And then some overhead press. Of course, there's a million other things you could do, but this is our, 1 pood kettlebell, which is 16 kilos. And then we have the 24 kilo 1.5 pood, which is 53 pounds. So we've got the 16 and the 35 and the 53. And those give us nice weights to work with. If you gave all of those exercises their just due amount of time, did multiple sets, 2 sets minimum of each, between 10 and 20 reps where applicable. Maybe the Turkish get-ups, you're only doing, 5 or 7 or 8 or 10 on each side, which would be a lot. By the time you get to this point, you're breathing heavy and you've tuned everything up, you've turned everything on, and you're basically correcting and proofing yourself against anything that could be out of place. You then get to crank out a bunch of kettlebell swings, a bunch of overhead press, feeling strong, feeling connected. And that would be that's like atomic level 1 right there. That's from 0 to 1 to 1.3, 5, whatever you like. But that core bit that I just showed you is what you can use as a foundation to basically go anywhere. All right, I hope that helps.